Hi, beautiful soul. I'm Maria. Welcome. I've had the vision of doing this channel for such a long time. I kid you not, I had everything set up, ready to go. I even posted like a guided meditation one time. It's still there. And fear just kept getting in the way. I kept getting in my own way. I kept getting in the way of my soul's calling to create the space where I can talk about my healing journey, where I can talk about my experiences, all the lessons that I learned, and most importantly, show you what it's like to come back home to myself. Time and time again, I've lost sight of the path. I've gone so far away from home, which is me, that each time I had to start over. It felt like that. I kept falling down, and it just felt like I couldn't stay up. I couldn't stay on track. Back in 2020, I had my spiritual awakening. I started to question literally everything, especially myself, and I hadn't done that in such a long time, not since I was a teenager. I think somewhere along the line I lost my way. I stopped asking questions. I stopped asking who I was. I stopped asking what I liked, what I was good at. I got to a point that I really had no idea. I had no idea who I was anymore. I had just been living in autopilot for most of my adult life, and I no longer recognized the person looking back at me in the mirror. I had enough. I got so sick and tired of being completely disconnected from myself that I quit a financially stable job that was very toxic and was affecting my mental health, and I chose to find myself. I chose me. I decided to find my way back to me, find my way back home. I realized that I had been going through my life so hyper vigilant, so hyper independent, and I finally recognized that I couldn't do it alone, that I needed help. And I sought out therapy, dove into personal development, and for the first time, I invested in myself. I had so many beautiful mentors along the way that taught me how to actually do the shadow work. They taught me what it's like to build a business. And most importantly, building myself. I wanted to wake up and feel proud to simply be me. I remember hearing someone say, I get to wake up and be me every single day. Shout out to Danny G, because that changed my life. That changed how I viewed the relationship with myself. I realized, wow, I want that. I want to wake up and jump out of bed and say, hell yes, it's another beautiful day to be me. Instead of waking up and being like, like F this, and not wanting to be here, not wanting to wake up, dreading another day, dreading having to be alive. I started reading personal development books, listening to podcasts, and practicing breathwork and meditation. This is the foundation that helped me feel and act like a whole new version of myself. And it worked. I was a whole different person. I was thinking differently. I moved differently. Like, the people that I started to surround myself with were different. But the deeper I went, the more I realized that healing, it has layers. It has cycles. And we do regress. We do go back to old patterns. And sometimes, most of the time, that builds a lot of guilt and shame. Especially once you've created such an awareness around the patterns that you have, the belief systems that guide you. I realized that sometimes peace feels unsafe, especially when you've been surrounded with chaos your entire life. Teaching the nervous system to feel safe in stillness, it's not only deep work, it's challenging AF. And even after finding the path back home to me, back to myself, life kept happening. I got into a car accident. My parents moved out of the country, and I started struggling financially in ways that completely dysregulated me. I disassociated again. I disconnected again. Anxiety and depression hit me deeper than ever before, and I just fell so deep into scarcity. For a while, I felt so ashamed because I've had worked so hard to learn all these beautiful things and habits and belief systems that going back to old patterns, old coping mechanisms, it felt like I failed, like I was a failure. And this is where I'll be documenting that journey, the return to myself yet again. And I'm not here to show up as an expert, like I know it all. Far from it. I am learning so much along the way still, and I'm just getting started. I'm here to show up as someone in it, knees deep in it, and show you day by day what that's like. Because let's be real, life be lifing, especially nowadays. So you'll hear about what's helping me with inner child healing, shadow work, grounding practices, and most importantly, how I work with my fears and limiting beliefs. I'm not here to show you the polished version or the, oh, we've already done the come up story. No, I'm here to show you the real, the raw, the actual humanness that is this entire experience that we're all having. So today, I leave you with this because this is what this channel is all about. A story, a challenge, and the lesson. If you've ever felt behind, broken, stuck, or like you messed up your whole healing journey, you haven't. You probably hear this all the time and all these girls say it, but there really is no perfect way to heal. The beauty of life is that you can always come back to yourself. Starting over doesn't mean starting back at square one again. It's starting from a different perspective, with a different understanding about yourself, and choosing a different response. We truly only fail when we stop moving, when we stop trying. So no matter how many times you keep on falling down, as long as you continue to get back up, even if it's so freaking steep along the way that you're crawling to this point, you're still moving. You're still taking it one step at a time, because that is as fast as we can go. That is as fast as we can run, as we can walk. One step at a time. And know that you don't have to do this alone. So I invite you to follow along this journey. And if this resonates, subscribe. And let's grow together. Now tell me, where are you in your journey? And what are you remembering? I just want to thank you, beautiful soul, for taking the time to sit here and be with me and listen to my story. This is just the beginning. I'm Maria, and this is healing.